welcome to Beauty Talk. My name is Linda. If you didn't know me already, I love everything about skincare, makeup, and beauty. And today I wanted to share with you this tutorial of this fall makeup inspired in all the autumnal colors. So if that is something that you want to see, please keep on watching. But before, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you join my lovely community. And also don't forget to give me a like at the end of the video so that I know you like this type of content. And also don't forget to follow me over on Instagram and TikTok, because I also share some beauty tips there, but also a little bit of my personal life if you're interested in getting to know me. And before I keep on going with this video, tell me, how are you doing? Do you have any plans for this weekend? And well, if you are watching this on the weekend. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. So now let's get into it. All right, let's get started. I'm first gonna have a little sip of my coffee. As you know, I always like to have a little coffee while I'm getting ready. In my last video, I was asking you, what is your favorite type of coffee to have? I don't know if you saw that video. If not, I'll link it down below so you can have a look. And if you didn't answer, then maybe you can tell me now if you want to share with me what is your favorite coffee. So my skin is already prepped, but it's been a few hours, so I feel like I need to add a little bit more moisturizer. But instead of moisturizer, I'm just going to top up my sunscreen because it's already moisturizing enough. So I'm going to use a little bit of that, just a little bit, because I put, you know, the full amount. I just want a little bit to just moisturize my skin a little bit again underneath my eyes. And I'm using this, I forgot to tell you, this is the calming sun cream from Pyongyang. So this is a Korean sunscreen and it's actually very nice. I am happening to really enjoy it. I think it's very, you know, although it feels like a true cream, it makes the skin feel really nice and supple, nourished, and I don't feel like it's greasy, and it's not greasy basically. So it feels really calming and soothing without being really greasy, because it's more like a heavier texture. But I have been enjoying it very much. And the sun is coming in. I don't know if it's gonna look fine in the video. I might have to close the curtains. I'm gonna prime my eyelids also using this eyeshadow primer from Revlon. Everything that I mention is going to be listed down below, and if I have links available for you to purchase them, they will also be down in the description box. So I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of this eyeshadow primer my eyelids. So I want to start today with the eyeshadow, and I just purchased this off from Look Fantastic. I love shopping there. And I also have a discount code for you, so check down below the description box. And I just purchased this little eyeshadow from Natasha Denona. And it's so pretty. Look at it. And it's called, let me tell you what it's called. It's called the Natasha Denona Mini Biba Palette. And it's very beautiful. These colors seem to me so pretty. And yeah, I think they are perfect for the fall. These colors are perfect for the fall. That makes sense. So although they're not like, so I feel like people tend to use more of like those rusty colors, more towards orangey golds and things like that. But I think they're so perfect for a fall makeup look. And of course I wanted to try the Natasha Denona formulas because they're so popular, and I'm thinking of investing in the bigger palettes. Just because being here on YouTube, I want to be able to suggest palettes that are very good, but not just that they're very good, but they're palettes that are available throughout the years, that you can always find, and not something that, you know, came out one year and then it's not available the next year. So that's why I'm thinking of Natasha Denona. And also because I'm not the kind of person who wants to be buying, you know, every single new palette out there. Therefore I want something that, you know, it has really good quality and it's gonna last me for years to come. So that's why I'm thinking of investing in the Natasha Denona palette. So if you have a favorite Natasha Denona palette, let me know which one it is. But I am thinking of buying either the I Need the Nude palette, and there's another one that maybe I'll pop a picture in here to show you which one it is that I'm thinking. I Need the Nude. There's also my Glam palette, I think it's something like that. There are between these three that I am really interested in buying. But having said that, I thought that starting off with this little one is great because you know, they're very small, they're very compact, they're easy for traveling, and you know, it's not so overwhelming to use. You got 5 colors, they're all really beautiful, so it's easy to use, they work really well. So this is perfect, and this one was on sale. I don't know if it's on sale at the moment that this video is going up, but it was on sale, so the deal was even much better. Before I get into the eyeshadow, just make sure my eyebrows are not looking so crazy. I will get to my eyeshadows I'll get to my eyebrows in a little bit, but right now what I want to do is I want to use a little bit of concealer, because this eyeshadow primer doesn't have so much color. Helps more for the longevity, but not so much for sort of like making the eyelids be one color. And I'm gonna use that, and I'm just going to use my concealer Forever Skin Corrector from Dior in the color 1.5N. I want to make sure that these eyeshadows really pop and translate in this video. I'm just gonna take my Chanel translucent setting powder to set that concealer on my eyes. Just gonna take a little bit of that. I didn't have time to wash my brushes yesterday, so I have a lot of filthy brushes. I will just kind of use a sanitizer to kind of like switch in between brushes if I have to. This one, by the way, all my brushes are either from Zoeva or Iconic London, and this one is from Iconic London, and it's the 08. It's from one of their collections. So I'm gonna start with the more nudie color, and I'm just going to, wow, they are very pigmented. I'm going to put it in my crease and just try to define the crease. That's what I'm going to try and do. I have no idea exactly how I'm going to, what exactly I'm going to do, but I'm going to play with this. This color is so pretty. Very, very pretty. Very easy to blend. Okay. I'm going to try something that I often see in Natasha Denona's videos on Instagram. She often starts by using a pencil. So I'm going to take this brown pencil. This is from Kiko Milano in the color, it doesn't say the color, it's number 06, and it's this brownish color. It's a very beautiful brown, and I'm going to start by using that. Then I will follow with the shadow. So I'm just gonna use like here. Doesn't have to be precise. She tends to do these. Start with a pencil, I often see. Take like a little bit of a wing. Okay. She also goes underneath. Just a little bit. The corner. And then sometimes she does something like this, like a little V. Hope you can see that. Like that. It's not perfect because I'm going to use the eyeshadow to blend that in. So I'm going to grab a pointy brush, so like a pencil brush, and I'm going to go into this darker shade here, which is a matte. So it's these 3 colors are matte, and this one is almost like a satin color, this brown here, brownish red, and then this is the sparkly one. Dip into that dark color, as I said, and now I'm going to go over that pencil, kind of like smudge it at the same time, load the color there. Just focusing it mainly on where I laid that pencil first. And then I'm going to just bring whatever's left into the crease. Very gently, adding more color there. Okay. And then I actually want to do almost like a hollow eye, so I'm going to put a little bit here of this color, but I didn't want to add the pencil because I don't want it to be too heavy though. Just a little bit here. Hope you can see that. Just gonna add a little bit of that color. This is a beautiful chocolatey brown, almost like doing a little V here. Then whatever is left, I try to connect it there. Yeah, so it's looking a little rough, but you know, we're gonna keep playing with this. Pulling out a little bit this here. But don't worry if it's a little bit too messy, because I am gonna clean it up before I do my base. So I'm just gonna take that same fluffy brush that I used to put the first color in the crease, and I'm going to take a little bit of the lighter pink here. This, it's like a peachy pink color. It's very pretty. And I'm going to just try to like mesh these colors in the crease. Blend those together. Now I want to dip into this sort of like reddish brown. It's more of like a satin brown. It's not fully matte. Beautiful color. And I'm going to place it kind of like almost in the outer corner of the eye, or what would this be, outer third. I'm just gonna place it on top, almost like on top of that sort of line that I did with the initial brown, and connect it all the way up. I'm looking like a burgundy color. Ever so slightly messy now. But I'm gonna take that fluffy brush that I used earlier. I'm just cleaning out a little bit of the excess shadow from the other shadows that I used. And I'm just gonna blend those colors here in the crease. Blend everything. Now I wanna take this pinky color again. It's almost like it's not that pinky when it becomes almost like a orangey color. And I don't know if you can see this space here. I'm just gonna put that here in this space, which would be like the other half of my eye, almost like a brick color, which is exactly the autumnal colors I feel like people tend to use. Now we're going with the sparkly bit. Just gonna take this flat brush, take that sparkly shadow. It's probably gonna be better with the finger, but I'm gonna try with the brush first. And I'm gonna keep it just in the center. Well, maybe a little bit more than just the center. And that looks stunning. I don't know if the camera can pick up, but you can see like underneath the matte shades. Just looks stunning. I'm gonna add a little bit of that shade again, just with my finger, and add it just to the center. Wow, there you go. See how that really sparkles now. Just gonna take that blending brush again. I'm just gonna go over the edges here, just to kind of like shake off any of the sparkles that are just, because I want to keep the sparkles in the center of the mobile eyelid. I don't know what I'm saying now. And just, yeah, that's looking super pretty. Now I want to do some eyeliner, and I want to do a black eyeliner. And you know, I could maybe afterwards decide if I want to smoke it out, or you know, you can also use the dark shade as an eyeliner, but I think I want to use the black because I want it to be a little bit more impactful, this makeup. I want it to be a little bit more intense, like maybe for the evening. But if you want to keep it just for the daytime, you can definitely use a brown eyeliner. I think it will look very pretty with this, but I want to use black. And I'm going to use my liquid eyeliner from Guerlain. I don't know if this has a different name. Let me see. Just a liquid eyeliner from Guerlain. I love this product. And I want to buy like a more affordable pen or liquid eyeliner, just to have to share something different. But I feel like some of these more expensive ones, the problem is that they're expensive and they dry out really fast. So I'm kind of thinking I want to try something more affordable. So if you have any suggestions for affordable eyeliners, let me know. So I want to make, I don't want such a thick wing liner, but I definitely want, you know, a liner. And I'm going to do it from this as I usually do. So I'm going to start from the middle out. Just want to Go really close to the eyelashes. And I really need to focus to do this properly, although because I haven't done my base, I am gonna be able to perfect it afterwards, so I don't need to be too afraid of making a mistake. But still, I am gonna take here from the outer side, and there we go. Well, that was really easy. Let's see how it goes on the other side. So I just want a thin wing eyeliner. I don't want something too thick. A mess on this side, but I'm just gonna breathe in, and I'm gonna be able to fix that now once I do my base. Before I do my base, I'm gonna tight line. I'm gonna use these are eyeliners, but they're nearly dry, and I think they work best for the waterline rather than on top. This is just from Essence. It's a long-lasting it's an eyeliner pen, extra long-lasting. Just doesn't work so well for doing the wings. I'm a little too dry for that, but I like using it for tight lining. I'm going to just, and I will only tight line the top. And for my bottom waterline, I'm gonna use a kind of like a nude color. This is a pencil from Beauty Pie. It's their super color kohl eyeliner, and this is in the color Bright Eyed. I'm just gonna use that one in here. I'm really liking how this makeup is turning out. I feel like it's looking really pretty. And now what I want to do is, before I go in with mascara, I want to do a little bit of cleaning. So I'm just going to clean up, and I'm going to use these little, what are these called? Q-tips, earbuds. And they are fabulous because look how pointy they are. So they allow you to really clean this and sharpen it up really nicely. I'm going to try now using a little bit of the cream that I used earlier. That's a trick that I've seen one of these makeup artists use. Instead of using micellar water, she uses cream. And her name is Veronica something. She's a Portuguese makeup artist, and if I will link her name down below. She's beautiful and I love her makeup. So I'm just going to use a little bit of cream here. Ooh, it's a little too much. Get this here. So I don't want to remove eyeliner, but you can just gently like perfect this here, clean it up, and it does such a good job. Actually works really well. Hope you can see that. I need to touch up a little bit the black here because I went over it a little too much. But that is pretty cool. The eyes are looking great, and I am going to, before I do mascara, I think I'm just going to do my base now. And before I do my base, I'm going to use a little bit of a primer just so that the foundation can grip a little better and for some extra hydration. So I'm going to use this primer from Guerlain. It's their L'Or 24 karat Radiance primer. I think that's the name of it. And this is a really nice primer if you want something that's going to help your makeup look fresh and dewy all day, stay longer, grip really well. It is not silicone. It feels more like a light serum. And I'm just going to take the tiniest bit. I'm just going to put it sort of like in these areas. Just dab it in. Also underneath the eyes. And for my foundation, I think the last video I did with you, I can't remember what foundation I used. I think I used the YesStyle All Hours, but I need to finish up this foundation, so I want to use it, and I love this foundation. This is from Chanel. It's the Ultra Le Tint Ultra Wear All Day Comfort Flawless Finishing Foundation. It's a really nice foundation. It's medium to full coverage. And I just love the colors from Chanel because the colors are really good in my skin. It's like they match perfectly, so that's why I really like them. And also they are really beautiful foundation. So I just take one pump and I'm gonna blend it all. Just gonna use a beauty sponge. This is one from Boots. If you live here in the UK, you can buy this in Boots. They're super inexpensive and they work really well and very soft. So I'm just gonna blend that in. This foundation just has like a very nice natural satin finish. It's not overly matte, but it's just very nice. I like how it meshes with my skin and it just looks very natural. I have like a little pimple under here in my nose. I think it's from kind of scratching around my nose. Got that little pimple. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer. I'm going to use that first concealer that I showed you that I used as a base on my eyelids, and it's this Forever Skin Corrector from Dior in the color 1.5N. I've really been enjoying this concealer. I asked some of you in my Spanish video if you'd recommend like a more affordable one. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, I am considering trying the new All Hours from YesStyle, because I have the foundation and I feel kind of like inclined to try. And also because I love the Touche Éclat from YesStyle. It's one of my favorite products. So I'm just going to blend that with my sponge again. I like this sponge. You turn it around, it has this little pointy edge here where you can just blend like this part. Just with the brush that I used earlier with the concealer, I'm just kind of like spreading it here, so like in the inner corner. Okay. For cream bronzer, I'm going to use my classic Chanel Le Beige Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. This is my favorite, honestly, and I just love it. And it just looks so beautiful on the skin. Use that just in the usual places where I would apply my bronzer. A little bit through my ears and a little bit around the jawline and the chin. Connect everything. It's very pretty, very subtle. This product is a classic for a reason. Just to show you something different, and I've certainly used this palette a lot. I'm gonna use the cream blush from this palette, which is the Makeup Forever HD all-in-one face palette. This is a really amazing product, and you can see that I've hit pan on one of these, the blush, which is the one that I want to use now. But first I'm going to use a little bit of that highlighter that comes in here. It's like a balmy highlighter. I'm just going to add that here just for some extra dewiness. This is a very nice highlighter, very natural. I feel like I need to do a makeup tutorial using more this palette. I've used it a lot, but I don't think I've used it to do many tutorials here. Very subtle. I'm going to take this color, which is a little bit more of a sheer one. It's my favorite. As you can see, I've hit pan. I'm just going to dip it straight in there, and then I'm going to apply it. It's more like almost like a peachy cream blush, and I think it's perfect for the fall. Although, yeah, I don't know, I do like peachy shades in the summer, but yeah, definitely in the fall as well. I think it looks really pretty. Very pretty. These cream products are very nice. Okay, I'm gonna set everything with the same powder I used to set my eyes, and it's the Chanel Natural Finish Loose Setting Powder. I think that's the name. It's gonna be down below in the description box. So I'm going to set my under eyes, around my nose. In this area here, it tends to get a bit shiny. Go a little bit over the brows. I love showing the difference of when it's set and when it isn't. And I've been loving this product so much. I love this from Guerlain. It is called their Terracotta Nude. So it's more of a finishing powder. It's not so much of a bronzer, but it does have enough color that it almost applies like a little bit of bronzer on myself, and I love using it. It also has this luminosity. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna apply it where I applied my cream bronzer, but it also kind of like helps tie in the colors, like that blush just helps tie it in. It just helps everything look much nicer. See? But I also do want to add a little bit of powder blush just to, you know, intensify it, and so that this can be much more of a long-lasting makeup. And yeah, so I'm gonna use my Chanel powder blush in the color Reflex. I love this color so much. Before, you know, I don't use it so much because maybe in the more cooler months I'll probably be reaching for something more pinky, more like a muted pink or something. But I love this color. It's like a peach orange. It's beautiful, and I love the smell of this product. So just gonna, you know, touch up that blush. Right, let's move on with eyebrows, and for today I'm going to use my Beauty Pie. It's called Super Brow Precision Pencil, and I'm just going to use the spoolie side to brush them up to see what I'm working with. I recently groomed my eyebrows. I get them threaded every 2 or 3 months, something like that, just to help with the shape of them. I have decent amount of eyebrows. The shape is not perfect, but I have good amount of hairs in my brows. This is a very nice pencil, super thin, super precise. I like that it's not very creamy. It's waxy and creamy enough, but not like that it melts all over the place. So it's a little bit drier, and I prefer that. So I'm just going to try to fill in the gaps of my eyebrows. Whenever I see a little sparse place there, I'll try and fill that in. And just try to correct the shape in general. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just a little bit better. I also like the color. Sorry about the noise. You know, the window's open because it's a little hot right now. Although it's the beginning of fall. It was super cold in the morning, but it's the afternoon now. It's not so cold. So this is how it looks. Then I'm going to set them with my eyebrow gel. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's the clear brow gel, just to set them in place. So now I want to finish the eyes, because at the bottom I don't have any eyeshadow, and I feel like I want to use a little bit of those colors that I used on top just to tie everything up. I'm going to take this brush. I'm going to use the pinkier color, this peachy color, and run that eyelashes underneath the eye. So I don't do it all the way in here, but just, you know, almost like just to the middle out. I'm going to use just this color, which is the satiny brown, and I'm going to use it with a pencil brush just so I can put it more closer to the eyelashes. I'm just going to take again that fluffy brush that I used, and I'm just going to kind of like blend those together. I'm wondering if I should do a little bit of a siren eye in the inner corner, but just using the dark brown from this palette. Let's see if we can do that. So I'm going to dip into the darker one with an angle brush, thin angle brush. I'm going to try and do a little bit of that. Yeah, that's it. In the top part, hopefully you can see that. It's not super pointy, just cleaning up a little bit here, but it's like just defining the waterline a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more, you know, siren-y style. Now I'm going to curl my eyelashes. This is my Laura Mercier eyelash curler. I have two, I've said this before, and I use them interchangeably. This is the Laura Mercier one, and I have the other one is from Shiseido. So before I put on my mascara, I like to set my makeup, just because sometimes I feel that when I spray after putting my mascara, it can transfer a little bit here because it's wet. So I'm just gonna first set my makeup in place. I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. And for mascara, I'm gonna use my favorite, one of my favorite mascaras, which is the Chanel Le Volume de Chanel. I've talked about this a lot. I love this mascara. My first favorite is the one from Dior. I think it's being renamed now, so it's Dior Show Backstage, and it's the waterproof version. I don't like the normal version. So I'm gonna apply this. I mean, this is incredible. So mascara, no mascara. It's a very, very good mascara. I like it very much. I apply just a little bit in the bottom lashes, just at the base of the lashes, because I don't like my bottom lashes to look too long. All right, let's do lips. And first I'm going to start by lining my lips with this pencil. This is a lip liner from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is the color Auburn Auburn. Her lip liners seem to be very popular and they are very, very good. And this is like sort of like a rusty pink, which is a really good color for now. And as usual, I like to overline my lips just a little bit, especially in the center, and then I follow my natural line on the sides. And now I'm gonna use one of these colors. This is a very good lip and cheek palette from Pixie. It's called Pixie by Louise Rowe. This is a palette, I don't see many people talk about it, but it's wonderful. If you like experimenting with different lip colors, but also for the cheeks, this is a really great palette. I have it because, as you know, I'm a makeup artist and I want to be able to have enough colors. Why can't I get this open? I want to be able to have enough colors for people that I do their makeup. So let's find a color that's appropriate for this fall makeup look. I take my lip brush and I think this is like a nice rusty color, rusty nude color. It's a little bit darker. This one could also work really well. I think I want to do this one, which is, what is it called? Let me try and find a color. It's called Smooch. Oh, that's a nice name, Smooch. So let's dip into that color and let's apply. Oh, that's pretty, perfect. It's like a pumpkin latte color. I don't even know if that makes sense, but I think it's beautiful. A little bit of like that burnt orange color, which you would think wouldn't go so well with this eye look, but actually it works really well. So I'm loving that as it is. You can keep it here as a, you know, just matte lip, but I love a sparkly lip. So I'm going to use a little bit of lip gloss, and I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss in Peachy, which is a perfect color for the season as well. Just gonna get a little bit, and because I love the sparkle. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed creating this makeup look. I love the colors. The Natasha Denona mini palette, super nice. The colors are very, very beautiful and they're perfect for this season, but I think this is also, these kind of colors work, you know, well all around year. Just depends on how much you use of them, how intense you want your makeup, and it's just, you know, at the end of the day, it's just makeup. It's nice to play around with these colors. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you decide to create something similar. Please tag me if you do it on Instagram or, you know, wherever. Just you know, share it with me. I would love to see if you do try to recreate something similar. And if you watched all the way to the end, I want you to know that I am so thankful for you keeping me company. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much again, and I hope you have a great day. Ciao.